Rich DeMarco at Army Football 2012 Media Day, joined by the Black Knights head coach heading into his 4th season, Rich Ellerson. Rich, thanks for a couple of minutes, and it's Media Day, football season right around the corner.
It's good to be back. Here we go.
So you start preseason camp. How do you feel about this team? Of course, being through all the offseason, spring practice, all the training. How do you feel about the squad?
Well, I was, as you heard me say, coming out of spring football and at the end of the spring semester, we were really encouraged. We really took a step forward. I think physically we made some tremendous gains last spring. We have some relatively young players that have got more experience than they probably should have at this stage of their career, but we have that going for us. And obviously we just got back in the building here, and they've been all over the map in their summers. But we track them pretty closely, and it looks to me like we've managed our summers well. Most of the guys have been able to take another step forward. Some of the guys that were some of the more demanding sequences maintained. We didn't have any giant setbacks. So again, we've kept the arrow up physically. We're more experienced, and we're still young, but a more experienced, a more athletic, more physically mature football team than we've been in a while.
Rich, you mentioned those young players that saw a lot of action due to circumstance, due to injuries. Those young players are back, and many of the players they replaced who were injured are also back. How much do you look forward to maybe the competition that's going to be in preseason camp among those players? There
will be, exactly, and that's the neat thing is we're wherever you look on our board, you're looking at 3 or 4 guys who have, in many cases, for every 2 positions, that have played a significant number of reps in game environment. So I think that'll be fun to see how it plays out. It may mean we have to move some guys around. It'll be, as I say, some of those things won't get resolved until you start playing football games. But it is, and we still have some great young guys coming in from the prep school that have some background with the offensive defense, and you never know how they've managed this first experience. And the good news is, while we look at those guys and we see some tremendous ability, we're in no case are we counting on those guys to step into the middle of it like maybe we were at a place or 2 last year. So that's a healthier place to be as well.
Your quarterback, Trent Steelman, a senior. Seems like Trent's someone who's been here forever. How do you feel he's doing? Obviously coming off a season which was cut a bit short with an injury last year, missed a couple of games. How do you think he is heading into this year?
Well, he's healthier than he's been in a while. Had a good spring. We cut spring short a little bit to resolve some things that had lingered, that were lingering physically for him. But to have a 4-year starter at quarterback in any offense, but especially in this one, at any institution, but especially at this one, that's an incredible amount of experience in this offense. So that experience, and he's a physically mature guy, tremendous competitor. Now, obviously, we got to stay well, and it's an offense where sometimes it's tough to stay well in, but. He knows exactly what he's in for. He's prepared extraordinarily well for it, and there's nobody in the history of the game that's been more experienced with what he does.
Well, Rich, we appreciate a couple of minutes. As always, best of luck today on the practice field and throughout preseason camp as we head toward that season opener on September 8th.
Thanks, Rich. Appreciate you.
That's Army head coach Rich Ellerson joining us on Army Football Media Day 2012. I'm Rich DeMarco.